Greetings everybody, my name's Tommy the Game Master and welcome to my channel. Well, this is my second video covering the Steam Summer Sale deals. This one is going to be more towards old school classic games and classic game collections that I think are a good deal. Most of the games I select are going to be under $10. However, this first one's going to be a little pricey, coming in at $23.99, and that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga collection. It's a bit pricey, but you get 13 games and 11 of them are really great. The only two that are kind of so-so to crap are the original Ninja Turtles for the NES, which with some of the new things like the rewind button, you can play some of the broken areas. There are a lot of great ideas in this classic game. It's just not very well implemented. And then, of course, the Sega Genesis Tournament Fighters, not so great. But everything else from the original arcade game to the NES port to Turtles in Time to the Game Boy Ninja Turtles games are all really fun, really worth playing, and most of them hold up surprisingly well after all these years. So definitely get it for $23.99. The next one on my list is Star Wars Rogue Squadron for $3.89. I covered this one last May. It's a super fun game with a lot of flaws. Still, it does do Star Wars right as far as a space comm sim and has some arcade elements into it as well. There's a few things, like I said, due to its age that had me a bit frustrated. Mainly game over, send your butt back to the beginning of some of these very long and frustrating missions. Fortunately, there are cheat codes. Definitely worth trying for $3.89 though. Going on to other Disney properties, let's talk about Disney Afternoon Collection for $4.99. You get DuckTales, you get Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers, you get the sequels to those games, you also get Darkwing Duck and Tailspin. A really great collection. I do hope Capcom and Disney come together and release some of the other games that they have produced. I know Capcom does have Aladdin and the Aladdin and Lion King collection. However, I wouldn't mind seeing Goof Troop and Mickey's Magical Adventures and some of the other ones that just haven't been re-released yet. But getting back on track, $4.99 for Disney Afternoon, definitely worth getting. So let's jump over to Capcom. We have Mega Man Legacy Collection for $4.99. First 6 Mega Man games on this collection. The collection itself is okay. It's not as good as the one that was released on the PlayStation 2. However, can you get the one on the PlayStation 2 as easily and running on your PC or modern consoles legally? The answer to that is no. So for $4.99 and you get to play Mega Man 1 through 6, definitely a steal. Then we also have Mega Man X Legacy Collection for $7.99. Mega Man X and Mega Man X4 are two of the best games in that franchise. Great action platformer shooters, definitely worth picking up. Legacy Collection 2, not so much. X5 is okay. X6 is certainly playable if you put it on Rookie Hunter mode. X7 is crap. X8, though, is a gem that a lot of people overlook, and it might be worth paying $8 just to play Mega Man X8 on Legacy Collection 2 for that price. So you might want to check it out. Then we have Street Fighter Anniversary for $9.89. This game contains all the classic Street Fighters from your original Street Fighter, which isn't worth playing, all the copies of Street Fighter 2, which are worth playing, the Alpha series, which is really great, and even Street Fighter 3 for $9.89. Definitely worth a pickup. And although it is not a classic game, I will drop this here if you were interested in moving on to Street Fighter 4. We have Ultra Street Fighter 4 for $3.89. Definitely great if you're looking for some old school fighting game action. And finally, rounding down this list, we have Castlevania Anniversary Collection for $3.99. All the NES Castlevania games, your Super Nintendo Castlevania games in your Sega Genesis Castlevania games, all that are worth trying, plus 2 Game Boy Castlevania games that you might be better off just skipping, and then an NES Castlevania game that features Kid Dracula that was kind of canceled at the very last minute that has been ported onto this pack. I personally think it's a really fun game that's worth trying, and with the exception of the Game Boy games, all the games on this pack are worth trying. You also get the Japanese versions that are a little bit easier to play than what we got here on the West on the NES. And when it comes to those Game Boy Castlevania games, they're not like off the wall awful. It's one of those things that I kind of wish Konami had gone back and did to these Game Boy games what they did to the Turtles NES games, use stimulation to kind of make them better. If these games were just sped up a little bit, I think these games would have been fine, but they suffer so much slowdown that it makes the Game Boy games, especially the first one, almost unplayable. Then we have the Contra games, which are also super fun. You get the Contra Anniversary Collection, gives you the 2 Contra arcade games, the 2 NES ports. You also get Contra 3, the Alien Wars, which are really good. You also get a Game Boy Contra, which is actually a super fun Contra game. And you also get the Sega Genesis version of Contra Hardcore. And that one's the weak link here, at least in America. The Japanese version had a lot more lives, a lot more codes. Unfortunately, this is the only story-rich game that is in the Contra collection, and just having that be kind of Bayou Billy to death when it comes to the challenge does kind of make it a weak link, which is kind of unfortunate. But it's still a fun game, at least worth trying, even if you get frustrated and don't go very far like yours truly. All the games in the Contra Anniversary Collection are pretty fun and worth trying. And then finally, we have Blaster Master Zero for $4.99. Inti Creates remade this game. It is a remake. It is not old school, but Inti Creates took what was really great about the original Blaster Master, updated the story, updated the context, updated the UI and some of the other balancing issues, and created a really great remake. If you tried and liked Blaster Master, or if you loved Blaster Master, then check out Blaster Master Zero. Anyways, this is Tommy the Game Master signing out. Let me know if there's any old school collections you think I should try down in the comments below. Bye!